It was supposed to be a routine appointment, a simple dental cleaning, nothing more. But when Marcus Chen walked through those doors, rage in his eyes and arrogance in his step, everything changed. In front of nurses, patients, and security cameras, he struck his pregnant wife so hard the room went silent. Blood, panic, witnesses everywhere. What he didn't know: her father doesn't just work at hospitals. He owns the entire medical network across 3 states. And he's about to erase Marcus from every boardroom, every contract, every corner of the industry he built his fortune on. This isn't just revenge. It's justice with institutional power behind it. Stay with us, because what happens next will restore your faith that sometimes the right people have the right power at exactly the right moment. Tell us in the comments, have you ever seen someone's arrogance destroy them? We want to hear your story. The waiting room of Riverside Dental Clinic smelled of mint and antiseptic. Soft music played overhead. Sarah Chen sat quietly, 8 months pregnant, her hand resting protectively on her belly. It was supposed to be a simple cleaning before her next prenatal checkup. The morning had been calm, peaceful even. Then the door burst open. Marcus Chen stormed in wearing an expensive suit and the expression of a man who'd never been told no. His jaw was tight. His eyes scanned the room until they landed on Sarah. "You canceled the whitening appointment," he said, voice loud enough to silence every conversation. "Without asking me." Sarah stood slowly, startled. "The dentist said it wasn't safe during pregnancy. The chemicals." "I don't care what the dentist said," Marcus snapped. "The investor gala is Friday. My wife doesn't show up looking like that." A few patients exchanged nervous glances. The receptionist stood halfway, sensing danger. "Marcus, please," Sarah whispered. "Let's talk outside." "There's nothing to talk about." His voice was ice. "You're embarrassing me again." Before anyone could move, his hand shot forward. The crack of his palm against her face shattered the silence like a gunshot. Sarah's head snapped sideways. She stumbled, caught the edge of a chair, then fell hard against the magazine table. Blood appeared at the corner of her mouth. Gasps erupted through the room. A nurse screamed. Someone grabbed their phone. "Sir, stop." The receptionist shouted. Sarah lay half-curled on the floor, dazed. Pain radiated through her cheek and down her spine. Her hand flew instinctively to her stomach. The baby kicked once hard. Dr. Emily Rodriguez appeared at the hallway entrance, her expression shifting from confusion to horror. "Mr. Chen, step back now." "I'm her husband," Marcus said coldly. "This is between us." "No," Dr. Rodriguez said firmly. "This is assault. Security is already on the way." The receptionist was on the phone with 911, her voice shaking. Marcus looked around the room, finally registering the phones pointed at him, the witnesses, the cameras mounted in the corners. His confidence flickered for just a moment. Then he straightened his jacket. "She's overreacting. She's been unstable lately." Dr. Rodriguez knelt beside Sarah, pressing gauze to her mouth. "Don't move. Help is coming." "My baby," Sarah whispered. "Please check my baby." "We will. Just breathe." Marcus turned and walked out, the door slamming behind him. The bell above it jingled mockingly in the silence that followed. 20 minutes later, paramedics loaded Sarah into an ambulance. Dr. Rodriguez handed them her medical file, then pulled out her phone. She scrolled to a contact she'd only called twice before, Dr. David Chen, Chief Medical Officer of Chen Healthcare Group. "Dr. Chen," she said when he answered. "This is Emily Rodriguez at Riverside Dental. I'm calling about your daughter." There was a pause. "Sarah, she's been assaulted. Her husband struck her in the clinic. She's stable, but we're transporting her to Memorial Hospital. Sir, I thought you should know I have the security footage." The line went quiet. When David spoke again, his voice was different, colder. "Send it to my office, every angle, and Emily, thank you for calling me first." David Chen stood at the window of his office, watching the ambulance pull into the emergency bay 20 floors below. His daughter. 8 months pregnant, assaulted in public. His assistant entered quietly. "Sir, the footage just arrived from Riverside." He watched it once, the slap, Sarah falling, the blood. He watched it again, his jaw tightening with each replay. "Cancel every contract with MedTech Solutions," he said quietly. His assistant blinked. "Sir, that's Marcus Chen's company. They supply equipment to 40% of our facilities. Cancel them, all of them, effective immediately." "But sir," "Do it now." His voice never rose, but the command was absolute. "And send notice to every hospital in our network. MedTech Solutions is suspended pending ethics review." Within 2 hours, Marcus's phone exploded with calls. Contracts terminated, partnerships dissolved. His company's revenue dropped 60% before lunch. In the hospital room, Sarah woke to find her father sitting beside her bed. His hand covered hers gently. "Dad," her voice was weak. "You're safe now," he said. "And he'll never touch you again." While Marcus scrambled to save his company, something else emerged. A former MedTech employee named Jennifer Park had been waiting for this moment. When she saw the assault video trending online, she made a decision. She sent an encrypted email to the Department of Health. Subject line, MedTech solutions, HIPAA violations. Attached were years of internal documents showing Marcus had been selling patient data to pharmaceutical companies. Thousands of records. Millions in illegal profit. By the time the story broke, Marcus Chen wasn't just a man who hit his pregnant wife. He was a criminal who'd betrayed patient trust on a massive scale. The courtroom was packed. Cameras lined the walls. Sarah sat at the prosecutor's table, her father behind her, his presence steady and silent. The video played. The room watched Marcus's hand rise and fall, watched Sarah collapse. The jury's faces hardened. Then came the data theft evidence, spreadsheets, emails, bank transfers to offshore accounts. When Sarah took the stand, her voice was quiet but clear. I stayed silent for years because I thought love meant enduring pain, but my daughter deserves to know that silence isn't strength. Speaking is. The jury deliberated 3 hours. On all charges, the judge read, we find the defendant guilty. Marcus Chen was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. His company was dissolved, his medical technology license permanently revoked. 1 year later, the old Riverside Dental Clinic had been transformed. The sign outside read, Safe Haven Medical Sarah Chen Foundation. Sarah walked through the bright hallways, her daughter Maya toddling beside her. The space that once held her worst moment now offered free health care to domestic violence survivors. Her father joined her at the window overlooking the city. You did this, he said softly. We did this, Sarah corrected. You gave me the power to fight back. I'm just making sure others have it too. Below, the city moved forward. Somewhere, other women were finding their voices. Other fathers were learning they could use power for protection. Other families were healing. Sarah lifted Maya into her arms. The little girl laughed, reaching for the sunlight streaming through the window. She'll never know the world he tried to build, Sarah whispered. No, her father agreed. She'll know the one you built instead. If you or someone you love is experiencing abuse, know this. Your voice matters. Your safety matters. And sometimes, speaking up doesn't make you weak. It makes you the strongest person in the room. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is available 24/7. You are not alone, you are not powerless, and your story deserves to be heard. Drop a heart in the comments if this story moved you. Share it with someone who needs to know that justice isn't just possible, it's worth fighting for. Let's be the generation that breaks the silence.